What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Bro Africana, coming to you all with an Orisha story. I needed a fucking palate cleanser. Talking about these fucking celebrities all of the time and this shit that's going on in our nation. And I guess a few other things. Like, this shit going on this ghetto ass planet. Like, that was overwhelming me. So I thought about telling y'all some Orisha stories. And this story comes to y'all via our good ELO there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to, find the words to put in it at the beginning because, you need a goddamn intro. But shout out to you if you are here to hear the Orisha stories. We about to get into it. So let's talk about the time that, Shango turned Oshun dark skinned. And let's dispel this rumor that's going around that all of Oshun's children are light skinned or light brown or not brown skinned or dark skinned at all. That is a fucking lie, sis. Okay? So if you're a dark skinned chocolate cutie and you wondering, I wonder if Oshun is my mom. And you may have had someone who is a spiritualist who have told you, you giving Oshun, baby. You might want to lean into that. Now, I know a lot of people hang people on Oshun like ornaments, and a lot of y'all are not Oshun's children. But a lot of y'all are Oshun's children, and a lot of my dark-skinned, very, very deep, ebony-hued sisters, a lot of y'all belong to Oshun. And I thought about this story because not only because I just repeated it to somebody, but I had been thinking about telling this story for a while because there is this foolish rumor going around that Oshun only caters to light-skinned children or whatever the fuck the shit is. Basically, they're just trying to humble black, dark-skinned women, if you will. That's not true. If you have heard that goddamn lie, that's not true. Oshun is very, very, very dark-skinned, okay? I want y'all to understand that now. Over in Santeria, she is light complected because those are the Latin people, okay? But if you are a black woman, I need you to understand Oshun is dark skinned, okay? Her skin is dark. She's beautiful. Ebony colored. If she were dark skinned, young Oshun would always give young Rihanna to me. Young Rihanna if she were dark skinned. I'm trying to think of a woman that gives Oshun. Let me even we don't even have to use Rihanna as a example. Coco Jones gives Oshun, young Oshun, not the fast Oshun, but that very young, confident, tall, dark-skinned version of Oshun. Think Coco Jones, okay? So let's talk about why she became light-skinned in the first place. Now there was a portion of the Pataki that Oshun's family was enslaved. Of course, that's where these Alabaster bastards stole us from in the first place. So they were about to steal Oshun. They had separated her from her family and all of that. But let's go back a little. Oshun's family was enslaved. Her mother was raped by a slave owner, or a colonizer, if you will. Because back then, she hadn't been transferred to the New World yet. But the whole purpose of Oshun being on that auction block was to ship her to America so that A, they could turn her into a fucking bed wench. B, make her give birth to all of these mulatto children. And I'm not disrespecting nobody mixed race. Baby, calm your ass down, okay? I'm not going to kiss your ass over here, okay? But what I am saying is back then, that was the term that was used. If you see this story, the story of Shango turning Oshun dark skin, you will see Oshun referred to as a mulatto, okay? The word is there, okay? Meaning, Oshun's mother was raped by a slave owner. Oshun being mixed was the product of that. So when she was about 15 years old, after these honkies and used her all up or got as much use as they thought they could get out of her because they couldn't make her birth no babies. They couldn't really get her out in the field because her skin would burn. Like, this is her when she was light-skinned. And this is not saying that light-skinned people are all hurt, but the thing is, Oshun was that divinely protected that Shango And Aludamare was making things happen to make sure that Oshun was protected. Sure, she got beat, all of that shit, but they couldn't kill her. They couldn't do none of that shit. So they decided, let's put her up on this auction block. Let's get rid of this negress. You know, they thought she was mixed. She should have been useful. But to them, she was no better than them field niggers. Put her out there with them. This is how they were thinking. Well, anyway, they take her and they put her up on this auction block. And keep in mind, Shango is a shapeshifter. So he's done seen Oshun before. You know, he see this girl. And he knows that him being a Negroidian person himself, albeit him being a king, it didn't matter. He knew that he couldn't just rush up and go and grab Oshun, because he would have not only frightened the motherfuckers because he'd have got busy, but it would have caused chaos. So he had to do this tactically. He said, what do I do to get close to her, to buy her? Because this auction is going on. And I know all of you women's rights bitches are going to be like, he bought her, bitch, let me cook. Okay, back then there was a reason he had to buy her. So he comes up with the idea that he needs to shapeshift and become a white woman, baby. Old flat booty, thin boned ass, crooked over bitch. You know, I have to become one of these hoes. You know, I have to, you know how what was the shit the bitches used to put on their face back then to make their skin real alabaster? He had to become one of these bitches. And before y'all like, oh, he was dressed in drag. No. He transformed himself into a woman, a white woman, so that he could go to this auction and purchase this Negro that they were just trying to get rid of. And when he gets there, it's all in the market and shit. People were seeing him as this white woman, like he made himself into a white woman from London or England or somewhere. And they thought that he was this really fancy ass white lady coming through looking for niggas. And sorry, y'all, I got to give it up like that. But he's walking around and, you know, trying to not make it so obvious that he's here to get Oshun, because there was like a reward out for Shango too. They wanted to capture Shango because they knew that he was magical. Y'all remember that whole Lovecraft Country shit when they were trying to harness black people's power? This what was going on then too. So it was a reason Shango made himself look like this pasty, pale, homely ass but rich white bitch. So he walk around, pick up a few things, you know, and he's like, in my mind, I feel like he's buying shit for Oshun because he's finna remove this motherfucking croaker sack they got this beautiful woman in. So after he done bought a bunch of shit, he walks up to the auction block and he's being real nasty to Oshun so he can fit in with these motherfuckers. It was shit like he looking up at her, and I'm looking up, y'all, because I'm like replaying what I imagined it would be like, or what it was like, him looking up, seeing Oshun standing on this block, and she's scared, so she's got her head down. The Shango being an old alabaster bitch, put your head up, girl. You look me in my eyes when I'm talking to you, type shit. You know what these bitches try to give when they think, oh, my whiteness is gonna strike fear into you. At the time, Oshun was afraid of white people, okay? So she looking up, and Shango gets her to spin around. They telling her, the white woman, well, Shango as the white woman, the white men are telling her, this negress is all worn out. She's no good. She can't have no babies. She won't pull a plow. She's lazy. Basically, all you can use her for is to sit with the children to make sure that they don't do anything ignorant. They had basically ruled Oshun as old maid at 15. Imagine that. But anyway, Shango plays into it and like, this is just the type of nigger that I need in my house type shit. Like, that's why he bought her. So Oshun was for sale for a real low ass amount. Like when I say that they didn't value her at all. And this is why Oshun is the way she is about people being valued too. But anyway, they had her on sale for like $2 or some dumb shit, y'all. They really was doing our girl. It was like she was worth nothing. Like treated her real bad. Okay. Shango was like, $2. Take this $100 and give me this nigga. So they like, you sure she's not worth this? Like she's not worth this $100 that you're trying to pay for. But Shango was like, okay, well, here's $200. Now give me my negress. Yes, come on down off of this soapbox. Come on here, girl. So he grabs his negress. This is what they were calling us, y'all. And they kind of joking at him like this little they making fun like how white men do. They like, she buying a useless negress. She can't even breed children. What is she worth? What is she worth? And they like making fun of him because he done bought. He like, I got an ulterior motive. Motherfuckers laugh now, cry later. Anyway, he tells Oshun some shit like, you gonna be like in front of them before they get moving, like, yeah, you gonna be a real good asset to my house type shit. And Oshun still got her head down because again, she's scared of white people. Had she looked up and only looked into his eyes, she would have seen that was Shango, because it was like Eshu had come to her as a rat or something while she was while she was locked up, because they kept her in one of them things where they had him like this. But Eshu came to her and told her that Shango was coming to rescue her, but she didn't believe it because she was looking for physically Shango. And this is another example of y'all being about to receive a blessing or about to receive the help that you are looking for, but you're looking for it in one particular form, so you'll miss it. But Oshun didn't miss it. Of course, she couldn't run away from these motherfucking white people. Oshun had already done all that shit. She had been a runaway slave, all of that. So, like, all of the shit you imagine your great-great-grandmama went through, Oshun went through that, or that one version of her. So, anyway, Shango puts her in the handcuffs or whatever that he got, but they were, he had put magic on them. I don't want to say he had hexed them because it was not a hex. It was him being able to control Oshun enough to get her to fuck from around these white people. So when he put them damn things on her arms, she immediately went back into having her head down. That's why she had her head down in front of Shango, even while he was still around the white people trying to be funny as the white woman. Look at me when I'm talking to you, girl, type shit. No, Oshun wouldn't tilt her head up, but this was a result of Shango's magic. He did not want her to see the familiarity in his eyes because she would have blown the whole shit. Because she would have been like, oh my God, they're not told them. But had she shown like rescue in her eyes, them white folk would have acted a fool, hun. So anyway, she wouldn't look up. Shango plays like I'm gonna beat her motherfucking ass when I get her home, and the white people just cheering it on. Yeah, beat that nigger, break her, just trying to make sure they humble the dark-skinned woman. Although at the time, Oshun was not dark-skinned. Let me say this then. Trying to humble the black woman. They felt like Oshun was too proud. Even though she was a mixed bitch, she was too proud. She needed to be what they needed her to be. They needed her to be their mixed piece of ass, and she would not be that. So they get on out of this nigger cell that they got going on. Shango got her with her head down. Got her walking behind the horse that he's, done rode up here on. Got her walking beside it. And after a while, he gets off the horse and ties it to a tree and continues to take Oshun on out into the forest or whatever. And Oshun starts paying attention after a while because that whatever he had put on the shackles started wearing off the farther they got out into the forest. And she started looking up and looking around. And she started noticing the shackles being real loose. And at first she was getting ready to run because she like, oh, I'm little enough to where I can slide my ass out of this because this white bitch just walking. She didn't even look back. Like, Oshun noticed they had gone like maybe 5 miles. And this white bitch ain't even looked back. Oshun and tripped and fell and shit. And this white bitch just still walking. So Oshun like, I can get away from her. But something kept telling her, don't break away from this woman. So they went on and they got her all the way out. They done left the motherfucking horse, all that. Oshun trying to figure out, what is this white bitch finna do? She in her mind thinking, this bitch must be getting ready to try to kill me. Okay, I'm gonna fuck this white bitch up. That's when Oshun getting her battle plan ready, okay? This was before Oshun the peacemaker came about, baby. This was Oshun the fighter, okay? This was Oshun Ipara that they had fucking kidnapped, okay? This was her. This was that battle bot that they had kidnapped. So anyway, yeah, fucking lipstick on my teeth. But anyway, Oshun decides not to break away from this woman. She like, okay, well, let me stick to this bitch. Let me make sure that I stay close to her. Let me see what she got planned. So they got out far enough into like this open space, but it was surrounded by like forest. Like you couldn't really get in without them seeing you coming from either way. But when he got her out to the forest, he undressed her. And he looked at her or whatever. He sat the sack of shit down that he had, because the whole rip, he was carrying that sack of shit. And Oshun didn't really know what was in the sack, which is why she thought he was finna kill her. Or she, while he was the woman. Kept the shackles on her or whatever. And stepped back off of Oshun while she was naked. And she's looking up at her. And Shango just looking at her. And he spins. And he becomes himself. And then Oshun like, oh shit, this nigga did say he was coming to get me. So he told her before she started thanking him, she was like, oh my God, this is Shango. Thank you, thank you. Before she could do all of that, he walked up to her and tilted her head up and told her, you would look much better dark skinned. And she closed her eyes and she felt something that felt like honey pouring all over her, which that's how she became the owner of the honey too. And when she opened her eyes, she saw this golden brown skin and she felt powerful. She like, oh, this is what it is to be a black woman. Wow. She started feeling herself. You know how it is, we get our goddamn hair did. Y'all know what it is. That is when, in one version of the story, Oshun became Shango's wife because he saved her life, turned her brown skin so she could realize the strength that's within her, you know, gave her a little bit of her ancestors' energy back, you know. But that's just to tell y'all, you know, don't look for help in just one way. And no, all of Oshun's daughters are not light-skinned. No, all of Oshun's sons are not light-skinned, because Oshun was turned darker because Shango thought she would look better. And he covered her with honey. And from that moment on, Oshun was dark-skinned. All right? Don't let nobody tell y'all that bullshit, okay? If you are as deeply melanated as this t-shirt I got on and Oshun crowned your head, baby, welcome home. Alafia to you, baby, okay? Don't let nobody tell you you're not Oshun's daughter because your skin is dark. Because Oshun's skin is dark. All right, y'all.
Feel the sacred glow in the realm of the real. Let a power flow. Bye.